Thanks everyone for sticking around. Really happy to share some success from the last 12 months. We were here last year and it was a fantastic experience. And what I really want to share is something we've discovered is possibly a missing link when it comes to the entire telemedicine infrastructure or the telehealth infrastructure. And that's the piece that faces the patient. The infrastructure, the back end, the payments, revenue cycle management, all of these things are critical and they had to get built first. But now we're at the point now where patient engagement and care plan adherence are possibly barriers to success. So what are we doing about that? Just real quick to share with you, we're 3 years old now as of last week. And we have two centers, one in Canada where most of our technology was invented, and one in Brooklyn, New York. We've also won some awards. We're very proud to say last year when we were here, we were finalists for the Tricorder X Prize competition. We were one of 3 winners of that competition, and we actually won the award for the most innovative tricorder, which is like saying the prettiest supermodel, I think. But what we do, and what we're going to talk about today, is we deliver a remote patient monitoring kit that is optimized for the patient. And so what does that mean? It includes not only the devices themselves, but also the software and the services that go with them, one of which is VSee, or two-way video. The most important thing we learned in building this out and creating this in the first place 3 years ago was that 2 things we actually learned. One is that there's a myth that older people are resistant to technology. When you think about that, that doesn't make any sense. People who are older were using technology when we were born. They were using technology their whole lives. So that's not what they're resistant to. They're resistant to technology that doesn't work, or technology that is hard to work with, that you have to go online and look up support and go to the forums and ask questions and be a computer scientist to understand. So we decided we had to build something that would just work. And I don't have to tell you that if somebody's not happy with the way their technology is working, they're just not going to use it. So this initial out-of-the-box user experience was an enormous insight for us, and it leads to the opposite of all these consequences. So if you have a good user experience, stuff gets used, readings get taken, medication gets taken on time, outcomes improve, and actually costs drop. Okay, so in the last 12 months, we've been delivering these connected health kits, and we have some extraordinary results now to share with everyone. So our kit just works out of the box. Everything comes together. We include the tablet computer. We optimize the tablet to make it very, very easy to use. The devices are all paired together. Everything is paired. If there's no internet connection in the home, we put a rocket stick or a MiFi unit in there that's already paired. Everything's charged. Batteries are included, and it ships. It's charged the night before it ships. So when your user gets that kit, it just all works. That means we don't need a technician to go and install things. If there are glitches, and sometimes there are, they are minor enough that we can talk people through it over the phone or by text message chat. The tablet is locked down. It's designed only for healthcare. No one's watching Netflix on it. No one's stealing it to play games. No one's using it for any other purpose than healthcare. That protects patient privacy. It means we control the user experience. And it means that the kit basically becomes a little health station. The devices work directly with the kit, and you don't really take it and go anywhere with it. It stays where it needs to be, so it's available when those readings are supposed to be taken. We've come up with a number of different ways to actually launch the thing. So we started with just a simple swipe, and as long as the right security is in place, then the app just launches. As soon as you open the tablet, it just launches. Boom, that easy. We are experimenting with something really cool, and so I'm now going to have my Apple moment that I always wanted in Silicon Valley. But here is facial recognition. Now watch, it's not going to work. I knew it. I've been testing this all morning. It's hilarious. Here we go. Come on, you can do it. Yes, boom. So, I mean, this is obviously in its infancy, but that kind of technology is the kind of thing that removes those barriers to entry and makes it just fun. It makes it cool. anything we can do in the technology world to create a wow, that's cool moment, that's what generates engagement and generates patient usage. Our devices just work. Again, you don't have to actually tap any buttons. When you put the oximeter on your finger, it just works. It just gathers the oxygen data. And you get to watch something cool while you're doing it. So you actually get to see your heartbeat, and you get to see what's going on with your cardiovascular system. Our blood pressure monitor is unique. We invented it ourselves. It's a wrist cuff. It's a pulse wave analysis device. So unlike every other blood pressure cuff on the market, what this system does is it gathers that pulse trace. It's a sphygmogram. There's a 4,000 data point signal there that we mine in the cloud for all kinds of cardiovascular data, and I'll touch on that in a second. But the wrist cuff is extremely easy to use, much, much easier for a patient to use in their home than an arm cuff. So the resistance to using the system is zero. People love it. It's comfortable. If you're older, it's comfortable on frail wrists. If you're heavier, you get much better information from the radial artery than you do the brachial artery. So the pulse wave device is a big secret of our success. Our support team is also extraordinary. We've gone to great lengths to, first of all, make the kit easy to understand. So we basically just stole a bunch of ideas from IKEA. You know, we've all used IKEA, right? Little stick guy. We don't include an Allen key yet, but we're thinking about it. So, but the key really is the relationship we build with our users on the support side. And we also have tremendous information available for any possible situation on our support site. So our support team has someplace to send people if they have a question. And that's true both on the clinical side and on the patient side. Okay, so some of the feedback we got from our patients is that if there's someone who has visual challenges, the system—
Thank you. Your reading is complete.
—needs to be able to speak out loud. So it reports the readings out loud. It reminds you to take your readings out loud. Everything can be done by voice instead of by visually or by text. And like many other companies you've talked to here today, we are also integrating Alexa skills, and we're working on that side, not just Alexa, Cortana, some of these assistant skills. That's coming in the future. We're really excited about it. So our system is designed to generate reminders. It's designed to generate notifications, and we have a fantastic health news center that has all the content that you want your user, your patient, to be able to work with, whether that's videos, articles, all of that is available in the health news. So it's one place you can go. You see text messages there, you see results there, you can send them to watch videos there. So that central spot can be customized and tailored for the user's condition. The system is designed to report many, many different parameters, which I'll show you in a second. Some of those parameters are set by national standards. So blood pressure, for example, 120/80 is the blood pressure you want. That's set by a national standard, JNC7 or JNC8. But other metrics are set by the clinician. Depends on the diagnosis, what heart rate you want to see as a good heart rate, or what body weight are you looking for, or what respiration rate. So all of this is easy to set. The patient can set it, or the clinician can set it. We set it up so that once those targets are set, the boxes turn green. We had a really interesting epiphany. Using some other software, I realized that there were all these red and green boxes, and I could never get them to all go green. And it just drove me crazy. It was really, I stopped using the app because I couldn't get them all green. So we very specifically created our system so that if you're in line with where you're supposed to be, all the boxes turn green. It releases endorphins in the brain. It really works. That's, believe it or not, it's powerful. Our system delivers all of this information in a very easy to digest, easy to understand way. And that information is both available on the tablet and also in the web. This is something we're really proud of. For all the different things we measure, blood pressure, oxygen, body weight, we created trends and averages, simple gauges. So you can tell at a glance, how are you doing? If the average is green but the trend is red, not good, right? If they're both in the green, excellent. If they're both in the red, also not good. And the graphs are there as well for visual reference. All of this is also available in a secure online portal. So someone else, whether that's a caregiver or a family member, can also take a look at it and help track the health of the user. We communicate with the user with secure text messaging. We've heard a lot about texting during this conference. We agree texting is a very, very powerful channel for communicating. So that's the clinical side, that's the patient side. It's simple, it's easy, but all of this texting is done inside of our solution, inside of our cloud. We're not using an outside vendor. So that means the entire text messaging conversation is captured in the patient record. It's available for future reference, it's available for parsing, artificial intelligence analysis. All that data is kept inside the four walls. And of course, we can't leave video out, and video is a very powerful channel. Video is baked right into our app, so you can actually have that two-way video conversation just using our care coordination platform, and of course, the user on the other side has the tablet, and the video is enabled. This is something else we came up with. When you have a little health station at home, that's great. No one's going to, it's not going anywhere. The health station's there. All the devices are there. But what happens if you're on the go and you need a medication reminder, or you need to have a text message conversation, or even a video conversation? So we invented companion apps for both Apple and iOS. For free, obviously, you download those onto your phone, so then when you're out on the road, you're connected still to your entire health team and to your health platform. Also, how do you get this information to the doctor if the doctor is not connected to Cloud DX yet? So of course, you need to have a reporting mechanism. We have a whole series of reports. You can print them, you can PDF them, you can email them. They're very visually appealing, and they're easy to use. We have some really great new features we're excited to talk about launching later on this fall. Doc a Day is something we're really excited about. A lot of evidence has now been published that shows that a simple 4 times a week text message is one of the most powerful tools for producing better health outcomes in chronic care management. In this particular study, which was done in Australia by some Canadians, the automated text messages reduced systolic blood pressure by 7.6 mmHg on average, reduced BMI by 1.3, and had extremely high patient satisfaction numbers. So we have adopted this, and we're launching this in the next 6 weeks. Our patients will be given these daily text messages, or 4 times a week text messages, based on their condition, based on their diagnosis. So the text messages are curated by our medical advisors. We have a 20-doctor medical advisory group, and those text messages will be designed for the patient. If you have a particular condition, you'll get the right text message. And we're also coming up with something we're really excited about. This is going to be one of those wow moments that are going to make our solution extremely easy to use and port around. Right now, our solution has a clinical dashboard, and it has the patient-facing solution, and we're integrated into a number of EMRs, which we'll speak to in a second. But in order to make this information as widely available as possible, while still protecting patient privacy, we've come up with the idea of the expiring link. So when this launches at the end of this year, when you take your readings as a user of our system, and you want to send those readings to anybody, you're sitting in your doctor's office, and the doctor doesn't know about Cloud DX yet, and you want to let them look, you're going to be able to send them a link. When the doctor clicks that link, they will go instantly into your most recent reading. No logins, no downloads, nothing. Boom, you're there. That's simple. And that link will expire in 30 minutes. So your privacy is protected. You initiated it, and it expires within 30 minutes, so your privacy is protected. Now, if the doctor wants to see more, you can send them a link again, or they can just download our software for free, and they can have access. We think this is going to blow the doors off of remote monitoring as a way to get information into the right hands at the right time. So we're really excited about that. Let me show you what the clinical side looks like. So our clinical portal just is a browser-based portal. It works on any software, any browser, on any platform. And obviously, you need to have a dashboard where you monitor your patients. So this dashboard is designed to show you all the different things we gather. We're making it more and more customizable all the time. The red and green boxes indicate the vital signs, the most recent reading, or the highest reading taken during a period of time that you set. So you can sort those patients to see on a daily basis who needs help the most. We have a very, very powerful tool for setting event thresholds. One of the ways that we get around the whole concept of too much data, it's just too much, I'm swamped with data, don't give me any more data, is that there's data that you really do care about, and all the rest you can look at later. So if you're tracking CHF, you care about weight gain over time, you care about blood pressure increase over time, you might care about the answers to a specific survey. Whatever it is you care about, those are the only things you're going to see. Those are the only things that your care team is going to see. So that is easy to set, and it eliminates alarm fatigue, it eliminates false alarms, it makes it much easier to use the system on the backside, and it's getting us very high marks from clinicians. Our scheduler is designed as well to make it easy to automate the scheduling of readings and medication and booking that next consult or booking a video consult. All that goes into the scheduler and then generates reminders to the patient as needed. This is the clinical side of setting the targets for the patient. We saw the patient side on the tablet. This is the side where the clinician can set, I want to see a weight target of X, or I want to see a respiration target, or I want to see a specific target. I'll get to respiration in a second. And this is where we set up the notification tree. So this is where we help our clients set up which notifications they want to see and when, and who those notifications go to. And that, by the way, not only includes the patient themselves and the care team, but also the family. So this is how we can loop the family in. The family can actually be front line. So to answer the question, what happens if one of these notifications comes through at 3 o'clock in the morning on Sunday, and there's nobody around to see it except maybe Lark. Hopefully we'll talk to Lark soon. But what you want to make sure is that the family is included, so they can be part of the first line of defense. Surveys are a very important part. Surveys are an important part of connecting to the patient. We have a whole survey engine that we can generate customized surveys, or we can use licensed off-the-shelf surveys and really build that communication channel so that the answers to those surveys become part of the patient record and become part of the care plan. I'm not sure why that's not working. We're supposed to see the surveys. And of course, this is the clinical side of the clinical text messaging back and forth, all locked down and privacy protected. This is where you go to engage in a video conference. So this is the waiting room where you see the patient is waiting for you and the patient is ready. And then you initiate VSee and you can go ahead and have that video conference. But also, some of our clients are already using a video solution. They already have VSee either in the EMR, or they're using it separately in VSee Clinic or something. So of course, we've set the system up so that you can actually look at our clinical dashboard while you're engaged in a video consult on a separate screen. This can be on multiple screens. So we are agnostic to this. We don't say you have to use the video baked into our dashboard or baked into our clinical software. If you're using a video solution you're happy with, fantastic. We will just link to it. Very easy. Now, the data we generate is special in a number of different ways. This is one of them. When you gather a 4,000 data point sphygmogram from the radial artery, our software is able to scan that data and look for arrhythmias and anomalies and atrial fibrillation. So this is part of the AI solution we're building. This is already in production. You can already use this today. And it generates that anomaly score, which is FDA approved, it's FDA cleared, to tell you that there's something weird going on here. If an anomaly score is 10% or more, take another look at what's going on with this patient's radial pulse, because there's something there. But the other interesting thing about this feature is that, and this is something we've just been amazed by, you don't have to be a cardiologist to use this tool. In fact, patients use this on their own. When you use our system, you get to see that sphygmogram every time it comes across the screen. You get to know what your heart is supposed to look like. And if something happens and it starts to miss a beat every fourth beat, anybody can look at that and go, that's not right, that's bad. And the software will confirm, yes, there's a 17% cardiac anomaly score here. Even if you don't feel any symptoms, that's going to generate a question. You might send a text message saying something else, something's going on here. Okay, really quickly, I'm running out of time. Our blood pressure monitor produces confidence intervals. This helps to indicate the precision of our data. And our blood pressure cuff was validated against an intra-arterial catheter for accuracy. It's the only FDA-cleared cuff that I know of that's been validated against a catheter for accuracy. Integrated into some amazing EMRs, that's a great story. And we're really proud of this. This is the reporting software on the backside. This is some results that I maybe don't have time to get to, but this shows care plan adherence in a cohort of 40 patients. Before they started using our solution, they were about 67% adherent to their care plan. The oldest patient in this cohort is 97. The average age was 76. They all have multiple comorbidities: CHF, COPD, diabetes, kidney disease. We have their compliance now at 91%. And we have all kinds of great new features, which I'll get to if we want to look at these slides later, because I'm going over here. But I need to get to this because this is the core of the whole thing. We have seen some amazing results from the concept of improved adherence and the concept of empowering the patient. Here's a patient whose baby was saved because she was being monitored by her OBGYN. These are results from Arkansas that show that 100% of this cohort of patients from 55 to 75 years, 100% became confident using our technology and wanted to keep using it. Here's a patient who absolutely refuses to give it back. Here's the cohort in Ontario. We got over 90% compliance. We saw at least 6 hospital admissions avoided in a 6-month period. That drives enormous ROI. And I'm going to leave it on this one here. This is a patient who's alive today because we were there for them. So thank you for your time and attention. I'll take questions.
Can you touch on your EMR integration?
Yes, so we're integration experts. Famous little story. We are integrated with Epic, we're integrated with Athena, we're integrated with Greenway, and we are teed up to integrate with Cerner and Allscripts. We haven't had a client ask for it yet, but we're ready to do it. Our Epic integration, we're kind of famous for doing that in 10 days. Our client in the Netherlands needed us to be integrated and live in Epic in 10 days, and we actually pulled that off. So we're very good at integration.
So Robert, did you do through some middleware to integration with your engineer wrote the Epic API?
We have done it both ways. So in our Athena integration, that's a straight integration by us. Same with Greenway. With Epic, we use Redox, which is one of the partners based in Wisconsin. They're terrific to work with as well.
That makes sense.
Questions?
Great presentation. So I wanted to talk about contracts and reimbursement, and just perhaps you could talk a little bit more about how the patients get the device. Are they paying for it? Is insurance covering it? Or do you have any plans that are covering it? I know you're in multiple countries now.
Excellent question. The whole reimbursement from remote patient monitoring puzzle is still being worked out, I think, by all of us, by the whole industry. Our clients are using our solution primarily to drive patient recruitment, patient engagement, patient loyalty, keeping patients on the system. So we are being compensated out of reimbursement from various sources. So clients who are using the new CPT codes from CMS for chronic care management, when you stack those codes and you're getting the maximum reimbursement, we work with them so that our portion of that on a per patient per month basis is affordable and helps drive adoption and recruitment and better outcomes, which all feeds back into that solution. We do have one health insurance company who is a direct client of ours. So they are purchasing our system and they are distributing it to their members, and they are funding it, they're giving it to their members for free, and they're paying us directly. So we have landed that fish, and we're now working on expanding that business, obviously. Up in Canada, we work with government-funded projects that are sort of happening on a province-by-province basis. The whole reimbursement puzzle in Canada is still being worked out, but we do have, I think, more projects on the go in Canada than any other company like us, and we're caring for more people in Canada than any other company that does this, so we're excited about that.
Any other questions? Maybe.
I want to congratulate you for actually integrating with Epic in 10 days.
Thank you.
I've been working with it for like 2 years, and I'm still not integrated with it. So,
so that's miraculous.
Well done, yes, indeed. That could mean that there's hope for the rest of us because Epic is very difficult. My question is simple. I mean, it seems like you've thought of everything here. What is it? What are your challenges right now? What is it that you want to accomplish next?
It's a great question. So our technology pipeline includes 2 things. It includes a whole lot more deep learning and machine learning to actually start building associations between these sets of data we're gathering and data from partners we're working with. So we know that we're just scratching the surface on what we can do with the information we're gathering. One example is the data that's coming off the wrist cuff, the sphygmogram data. We have preliminary scientific evidence from a study that was done in New Brunswick, Canada, that buried in that signal is something we can detect that will show that a person has taken their medication completely non-invasively. Not every medication, but especially medications that impact the cardiovascular system. We actually have a patent pending on that idea, and we are working hard to prove scientifically that that is a valid thing. Because if we can detect whether a person's taken their medication, and then we have all this data on their vital signs afterwards, now I can tell you whether the medication's actually working. So imagine a tool that completely non-invasively positively identifies, yes, they took the pill, and then positively says, yes, it's working. Imagine the outcomes from that. So that is absolutely something we're working on. Really excited about that.
Thank you so much. That was a
Thank you,
really
everybody.
inspirational chat. Thanks.